Noise rings in the ears of the fallen. Brothers and sisters left education on the side while they're balling. Unfortunate be those that have let go of innate abilities, abandoned minds and fear God-given responsibilities. Who be them that run from who they are and could be? Fear is illusionary and built by those that hold the power to prevent unique multiplicity. Don't just listen to me, feel me. Our blood is one, for we are raceless. Humanity is from one land, and its hatred is baseless. Those fueled by hate remain nameless, as darkness has found you and made you unwelcome on my playlist. Because I'm no longer able to in my headphones blast these lies. Each track, each misguided verse, each wasted potential in another brain cell dies. How'd you travel so far from your womb and decide that your bloodline is irrelevant? Your confused self-cathartic needs are clearly evident. Live not for which is green, and begin living for which is your being. None of those dollar bill yas will seem familiar when you've lost your familia. To hold on to all of this, be selfish. Breathe for them and I live selfless. Why withhold freedom's key and prevent young trees from becoming bee? I've seen all that is, can, and shall within me. Follow wherever you're taken. Your existence on this chaotic journey of life is not mistaken. I've seen you and me on those street stages and classrooms shaken. Yet I stand here before you, molded in clay without aching. I'm not saying be me. I'm saying do you and find out who you be. Walk on that path as freely as you would swim in the sea. Ask all the questions possible. Knowledge of your past, present, and future will make you unstoppable. Focus on what makes you stronger. Later comes that which is profitable. Believe in you and allow your light to shine. Build your own path and stop following someone else's line. Use others' hate and see the flicker in their eyes as they watch you rise past the heavens and the sky. Spread your arms and fly. Be lifted by your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Raise above all those that fear where you could become. Fly higher than the clouds and be cleansed by the sun. Be that shine that is in you as in me. Just open your eyes, my brothers and sisters. Open your eyes, follow your purpose, and be. Just see. Just be. Just be. Thank you. My name is Juan Piñeiro, and I'm here to talk to you about purpose as a life skill. I wrote that poem after working with a group of young boys in a group home in Kingston, New York. The first day I went into this 12-week program, I realized they weren't there. I didn't have them present. They were there physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, they were elsewhere. I went home and I asked myself that evening, what is my purpose? Why did I sign up for this program? And why did I decide to be of service to these young men? From that came that poem. But the next time I went to meet with these young men, I performed this poem and I had them. They started expressing themselves cathartically, sharing their experiences, sharing the traumas, the things that they had seen, the wishes and the goals that they had for their lives. Somehow, by me sharing my own purpose and tapping into my purpose, they tapped into their own. William Damon, who is a scholar of human development and a professor of education at Stanford University, defines purpose as a stable and generalized intention to accomplish something that is at the same time meaningful to the self and consequential for the world beyond the self. The pursuit of a purpose can organize an entire life, imparting not only meaning and exhilaration, but also motivation for learning and achievement. Now, I've been thinking about purpose for a long time in my life. In fact, that's me in the 9th grade. In the 9th grade was the first time when I started to think about purpose. I remember falling asleep in class. It was about a 3 to 5 minute nap. And I fall asleep in class even while the teacher was giving the lesson. And I came out of it with this epiphany, this realization. I woke up from it and said out loud, whoa, last year I was in the 8th grade. This year I'm in the 9th grade. The students around me started laughing because they thought I was joking around. The teacher said, "Ta loco, he's crazy," and moved on with the lesson. But for me, that moment stayed right in my heart. Because in that moment, I realized that if I'm here to evolve and I'm here growing and expanding, then I must be here for a reason. I started searching for a purpose. I received lots of content, lots of information in the classroom, lots of information outside of the world, but I did not receive supports to tap into my purpose. What I got a lot of was, you need to figure out what you want to do with your life. You need to go to college. You need to make money. You need to get a job. You need to figure all of this out on your own. In fact, even when I said I wanted to become a writer, I was told, you're going to die of hunger. Don't become a writer. go into business or computers, make some money. I kept looking for purpose, and I became incredibly depressed. It was at that time that I started to realize I live with depression. And the more depressed I became, the unhappier I became. I actually became suicidal because I just didn't find that I had a purpose within me. Now, the image I'm about to show you is controversial. In fact, it's been banned in a number of states. That guy was clearly seeking for purpose. That's me at some of my lowest points. That's me senior year in high school. It was during this time that I started to think about suicide nearly every day. I started to wonder. I started to get distracted in class because I'd ask myself, what's the point? I have no purpose. I don't know what I'm here to do. According to the CDC, I'm not alone. Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that suicide is the number 2 cause of death among emerging adults. Number 1 is accidental death. To me, this means that our young people are choosing to take their lives at an alarming rate. We are losing our young leaders of today and tomorrow because of a lack of purpose. Now, I'd known about self-care. I learned about this. Take care of yourself, drink plenty of water, eat the right foods, get plenty of sleep. But I didn't know about self-cultivation. Self-cultivation is a little different. Self-care is the things we do to take care of ourselves, whereas self-cultivation is what we do to grow, to expand, the practices we do to become our truest selves. It was in college where I had an advisor start asking me questions rather than telling me what I needed to do. He started to ask me, what do you see yourself doing? What do you enjoy? What brings you happiness? I was shocked. I was surprised. I'm like, what do you mean what brings me happiness? How is that going to help me tap into purpose? He started teaching me tools to tap into my spirituality, meditation, and encouraged me to keep writing, keep finding ways to find my purpose deep inside of me. I found that through this work, through working with him, I became one of the founding members of the Rednecks Poetry Squad. This was a group of young adults that traveled all over the country. In fact, many of us in that photo were students of his. So we traveled all over the country sharing what we'd learned, cathartic tools for expression, ways of tapping into your purpose, ways of tapping into your being. And it was during this time that I learned and I realized my purpose was to learn, educate, repeat, learn, educate, repeat, learn, educate, repeat. My purpose is to be of service to others as they develop a sense of purpose amongst themselves and become their truest selves. This became my guiding force. Later on, as I conducted research in graduate school, I realized that this is very much focused and based on the helping medicine wheel. The Native American medicine wheel, medicine meaning knowledge and power within us, says that in order for us to tap into that center circle, in order for us to become our balanced, truest selves, we have to nurture our bodies, our minds, emotions, and spirit. We have to invite all of them to the table and take care of ourselves. So, how do we do that? First, we look at our body. And of course, exercise, but not necessarily going to the gym for an hour or two, although that can happen. It could be as simple as going for a walk, taking some time to use your body. Our bodies are meant to move. When we sit for hours and hours and hours and watch TV or play video games like I was doing, our bodies aren't able to express themselves to their fullest potential. So the energy that could be flowing gets locked in. You could also dance. Whatever it is for you, finding ways to move your body is a gift of your own that you can tap into for your own self. Mind, look at meditation. Look at how you can be aware of the thoughts. Notice what's there. Through meditation, I started to realize I had all these thoughts and ideas, but I was not able to tap into them because they were locked inside my mind. I also started to learn more. Not just the things that I needed to learn in school, right? But the things that I was passionate about. So if I was passionate about writing, I would learn more about writing. Not just the writers, but also how to write, how to improve. If I became passionate about yoga, I started educating myself about yoga and how to practice yoga, how to tap into tools to help me become a better person. Also, be mindful. I started practicing more tools to be present, to be here, to be now, in the moment. How many of us have been driving somewhere and halfway forgot where we were going? Or walk into an office door or another door and say, why am I opening this door? This happens too often. And by practicing mindfulness tools, we can be present and here in all moments. Look at our emotions. Our young people don't look at their emotions enough. They become consumed by them. But if we start to share our emotions, if we start to share what's there present with somebody we trust, somebody we love, it can help us release this energy so that we can use this energy, because that's really what emotions is. It's energy. Another way to do that is through journaling, just writing down your thoughts and ideas. You don't even have to leave it in a journal. I have a journaling practice that every time I write, I just rip up what's on the page and throw it out. It's not a matter of remembering what's there. It's a matter of pouring out what's there. Another way to tap into your emotions is by creating. Energy is there so that we can create, be it dance, be it music, be it writing. Find what you're passionate about. Find what you like to share and create. Forget about others' opinions. Forget about others' ideas. Just put your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings onto paper in some kind of created form, paper, dance, whatever it is, so you can create into this world as well. In spirit, this is one we forget quite often. Pray. Some of us have a prayer practice, some of us don't. If you have a prayer practice, it's as simple as talking to your higher power, taking a moment to just say, hey, this is what's going through me. This is what's going on through my mind. We don't need a set of regulated rules. It could just be a simple, this is what's going on for me today. If you don't have a belief in a higher power, tap into nature. Spend some time in nature, be it a mountain, be it a tree. And some people tell me, you know what, I'm not around nature. And I say, look up. There's always a sky there. There's always something more. I've never heard anybody say, I don't like nature. I don't like the sound of that river. I don't like looking at the sky. Somehow, some way, when we tap into nature, the beauty within us comes out. And another way is to spend moments in quiet. To just notice what happens when we pause. When we listen to the silence within us and around us. That alone can give us a gift to tapping into purpose. And very importantly, ask yourself, why am I here? What am I here to do? What do I enjoy, like I was asked years ago? If money didn't matter, what would I do? In those moments of silence, ask yourself and see what comes up. See, sometimes we search for the answer. It could be as simple as taking a pause and seeing what comes up for yourself. And one of my favorites is, what does the best version of me look like, and what am I doing? This is how I tapped into my being. This is how I tapped into I am in my purpose. I want to encourage you to read this book, especially if you're an educator or have young people in your life, by William Damon, The Path to Purpose. In it, he talks about both qualitative and quantitative data and numerous tools and how we can encourage our young adults, our emerging adults, to tap into their purpose. Because what we're trying to do here is help them to get to define themselves, help them get to I am, who they truly are. As I did this practice of just asking myself, what am I here to do? What do I enjoy? I found that I love speaking to people. I love sharing my thoughts, my ideas, and helping others after my own journey, after my own ebb and flow challenges of life. I love bringing groups of people together, be it through teaching psychology, be it through teaching writing, be it through teaching expression or yoga. I just love sharing. That's my purpose. I especially love working with emerging adults because it was during this critical period in my life that I was able to find out what I'm here to do. And I'm a lover of animals. And this is important because I live, as I said earlier, with a mental illness. And these animals have brought me joy. I actually have rescued three dogs thus far. That dog was tied up to a tree during a polar vortex in the Bronx for 2 weeks. That dog has brought me and so many people joy. And I found that alone can be another piece of my purpose, to be of service to others, humans or animals. I'm an academic. I love learning. I'm the guy that goes to bed at night, and before he does, he finds another book and learns about something else. I didn't know this when I was younger. I thought I was dumb. I thought I wasn't intelligent. And now any concept that I can receive, I use it to help define myself and who I am. And most importantly, I love that woman right there in that photo. And the reason I put that one up there, not just because she's incredibly beautiful, but also because that woman reminds me of my purpose. Find yourself someone in your life that sees your purpose even in the days that you don't. When I was kneeling on the side of a room in tears, not knowing how to move, not able to move because I felt catatonic and I forgot my purpose, she would remind me in a compassionate way, hey, don't forget what you're here to do. She didn't tell me, go get a job, go get money. She reminded me, you're here to follow your purpose. That's what we all humans need, guides to help us tap into our purpose. I want to thank you all for being here this evening, for listening to this talk. I encourage you to stay awesome, but most importantly, ask yourself, what is your purpose? Because if you ask yourself, you just may find it. And if you find it, chances are you're going to be the amazing, beautiful person you're here meant to be. And that is what we need in this world. Educators, we need us. We need all of us to work together so we can help young people tap into their purpose. Thank you.